Joe Biden, 46th President of the United States, addressed the State of Union at the U.S. House of Representatives to the 117th United States Congress. All eyes were on Biden as he took on the biggest stage of the year amidst his most controversial tenure of his presidency so far. So much is on the table for Biden: the all-time high inflation, Russia-Ukraine crisis, global pandemic, and much more. In this video, we will tell you major takeaways from Biden's State of the Union speech. My name is Pragya Devan and you're watching Voice News Network. The first major takeaway from Biden's address is his views on the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis. Calling Russia's war against Ukraine unnecessary, Biden backed the Ukrainians who are fighting hard to save their country. And in a rare sight, Biden's remarks over Ukraine were applauded by both the parties. Biden said that he will ban Russian airlines from flying over American airspace, as many European countries have already done.
Together, along with our allies, we are right now enforcing powerful economic sanctions. We're cutting off Russia's largest banks in the international financial system, preventing Russia's central bank from defending the Russian ruble, making Putin's $630 billion war fund worthless. We're choking Russia's access to technology that will sap its economic strength and weaken its military for years to come.
From talking about the Ukrainian crisis, Biden used the momentum and switched to the inflation crisis in the US. But that is where he got his first boo when he said that the tax cuts passed during the Trump administration only benefited the top 2% of American wage earners. In order to curb rising inflation, Biden introduced a new 4-point plan for lowering costs on Americans who have grown anxious about inflation.
17 Nobel laureates in economics said my plan will ease long-term inflationary pressures. Top business leaders, and I believe most Americans, support the plan. And here's the plan. First, cut the cost of prescription drugs. We pay more for the same drug produced by the same company in America than any other country in the world.
Biden made extended remarks on the pandemic. He noted that the Centers for Disease Control announced new regulations that will mean masks won't be recommended widely as hospitalizations have come down in recent weeks.
Just a few days ago, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention issued a new mask guidelines. Under the new guidelines, most Americans and most of the country can now go mask-free. And based on projections, more of the country will reach a point across the next couple of weeks. And thanks to the progress we've made in the past year, COVID-19 no longer need control our lives. I know some are talking about living with COVID-19, but tonight I say that we never will just accept living with COVID-19. We'll continue to combat the virus as we do other diseases. And because this virus mutates and spreads, we have to stay on guard.
Biden also announced a separate wing to look after the financial frauds that happened during the pandemic.
The plan will not only lower costs and give families a fair shot, it will lower the deficit. The previous administration not only ballooned the deficit with those tax cuts for the very wealthy and corporations, it undermined the watchdogs, the job of those to keep pandemic relief funds being wasted. Remember we had those debates about whether or not those watchdogs should be able to see every day how much money was being spent, where was it going to the right place? But in my administration, the watchdogs are back. And we're going to go after the criminals who stole billions of relief money meant for small business and millions of Americans. Tonight, I'm announcing that the Justice Department will soon name a chief prosecutor for pandemic fraud.
Overall, Biden's speech is deemed as a well-written and well-rehearsed version if we compare it to his earlier speeches. And of course, there are a lot of things that Biden could have talked about, like future plans for America. There was no discussion of the nation's racial reckoning and ways he hopes to address it. Indeed, while he specifically mentioned women and the LGBTQ community, the word black never appeared in his prepared remarks. If you like to watch videos like these, subscribe to our channel and thanks for watching.